So today I'm going to be making my Raiderette sticker, and I'm going to add a pink background. I've been having a lot of customers ask me if I do that in pink, so the bandana print, we're gonna change that to pink. I tried changing the whole shield, everything to pink, but it just looks kind of like crappy. But I've already got some going, so we'll go ahead and when these are done, I'll pull these out. We'll laminate them and then cut them and see how they turn out. Okay, so here is the design pulled up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bandana pattern and just change that to the pink. So here's what I did. Now I've got everything set up in its own groups, objects. Actually, let me see what that is there. Okay, see that piece there? Don't need that. That's some extra piece. So I'm going to get rid of that. Get rid of that and get rid of that. Okay. Alright. So the bandana I have in its own group, as you can see here when I select on it. And that basically sits underneath everything else. And what I did was I went and I just trimmed everything. See how it kind of just stops? Trimmed everything up into that black frame on the shield. On another version I put a clipping mask in there, which I kind of thought was overkill, so didn't need to do all that. Let's move on. So in order to get this pink, what I basically did, just highlight that bandana, and then I went online and I found these color codes, and I believe the one I went with was excuse me, oh, let's see, you know, let's just do this one right here. So I grabbed the color code. Now I've got that highlighted, so I'm going to go ahead and double click over here and then just paste that into that little box right there. Hit OK. Boom, there it is. So that's all ready to go. Now what I did after this was I grabbed this one and the regular version. Let me open them up and I'll show you. Let's go to sports. And right there. So this is what I got set up for VersaWorks. You see I got the one with the pink bandana. There's my cut contour line. I got a little bit of an offset. And over here, same thing. But I didn't change the color of the bandana on that. Okay, that's it. We'll get this into the machine and then we'll go from there. Okay, so everything printed okay. It's been drying. Well, it's kind of sat here for about 4 hours, so don't need to sit and let it dry. We can take it out now and do the laminating. So we'll go ahead and do that. All right. So as I do in most videos, I'm going to pull this out and I always just bump my ruler up against the edge here. Now I know there's a way to make this where it'll actually come out. It's done it before. I don't know if there's a setting or not, but I usually just eyeball that to about 2.5, maybe 3 inches. Alright, then we'll just cut that. I just slide along that metal portion of the machine there. Alright, here we go. So over here, we are going to laminate. Now here I've got a box. This is all leftover laminate that I have from other jobs. So I know this being kind of small, it's gonna probably have something in here I can use. These bigger ones are 6 inches. So I just gotta find one that's 6 inches. So like I said, at least 6 inches long. So let's see if we got anything in my scrap file here. This one looks promising. There we go, see that? This was from another job where I had to trim off about 6 inches to make it fit the other job. So, we got our 2 pieces here. So I'll find the straightmost edge. Okay, so there's always a straight edge when you do this, because when you trim it off your other material, you're always left with a little bit. All right, so we're gonna just eyeball that just in from the edge there. I'll probably go about right there. Just mark that. So that's the first piece. Straight edge, there it is, okay. All right, do the same thing over here. Just a little bit, okay. So we'll just dot that. Normally I don't dot both sides, but for this one I did just because it's so small. Take our material, put it out of the way for a minute so we don't beat the hell out of it. Okay. Just cut these like so. Okay, so here, I'm going to just peel back the laminate just a tiny little bit. Little sucker. Okay. I'm going to cut off maybe about 1/4 inch of the paper. Just line that up best you can. Make sure you leave enough room for that bottom row. Okay, everything looks good there. Same thing on this side. This is my gloss laminate. I recently changed sticker material. Before I was using Prism Jet vinyl. This is Orafol, whatever. More like Borafil. Okay. Now, you got your 2 pieces there. Stick them in this guy. Alright, so we don't have to do anything fancy here, just peel back your laminate, kind of work out the paper. Now, I always do one, whenever I got more than one piece of laminate, I always do one first. I've tried doing both at the same time and it ended in disaster, so. Another thing I just remembered I forgot. Don't make sure your laminator's not too tight. Okay, and there we go. Bam. See that? Okay, now I'll do this one. I am gonna loosen that just a tad. Okay. All right. Okay. Yep. So we'll go ahead and just roll that in. And that's just the way to do it for your scrap material, you know. I could have just threw away that, that laminate, but now I've got enough, you know, to do this job. So the reason this material is so small too, so I had to order some new calendar printable vinyl, and I bought the 50-inch roll, so I had them cut it down to 20-inch, 2 20-inch rolls, and it left me with 14 inches of material. So I'm gonna run out this roll. I like that because sometimes I'll do a job where I've only got one sticker, and I hate to waste all that material, so I usually throw another bunch of stickers along the side of it. But you know, again, talking about waste, it's still having to run more jobs. If I know I'm gonna sell them, it's not a big deal, but these ones, I'm doing this for a demonstration. So, and see that roll, see how it sits on there? It's just 14 inches. So this is a 14-inch roll out of a 54-inch massive roll that I bought, and I had them cut it. So this is a 14. It will. I can't remember what the limit is on these machines. I believe I want to say 10 inches, but I don't know for sure. And then these are the 2 rolls right here. The 2 rolls extra. So I got 150 feet per roll and 20 inches long. So that's the 2 I had cut. So that costed me about, to have the company do that, I got the 54-inch roll cut down, and I got a roll of laminate. Everything's 150 feet. Cost me about 350 bucks. So that's not bad. I mean, these stickers, about a week it'll pay for itself anyway. You know, on a slow week. But anyway, let's go ahead and load this bad boy. So you want your crop marks. You got your line here. You always want that in front. Anybody who's watched my videos is probably boring. I just haven't done anything new for a while, so I figure I gotta upload something, right? Now here's something I want to show that I have in other videos, but you might not have seen those other videos. So you're gonna be stuck with me. Alright. Now, to line up these crop marks, I do get asked a lot about crop marks, that's why I'm doing this one. So what I used to do before is I would take a marker and draw on the end of the material right next to the crop marks. I'd put a ruler down, and then I'd eyeball that mark to go, because you got to go with this cutting strip. But now all I do excuse me, I put my fingers down on the crop marks themselves, kind of rub them around till you feel them in that groove where that cutting mat goes. There we go. See how it moves around? You'll feel it, you'll know it's there. That's just how I do it. It's simple, but I don't know how accurate these gotta be. That's just what I know, is that's where they go. Now once you're comfortable with where your crop marks are, just go ahead and lock your pinch roller. Throw back your dealio cover. You can sit and wait for it if you want, or you can go load this baby up, which is what I'm gonna do now. I'm just gonna go run the job. I'll be right back. Okay, so I got my blades all set, everything's ready to go. Don't have to mess with anything. Usually on that last one, what I do is I just kind of put my hand back here, because that roll's so big, and the way I got my machine set up, I just kind of help to guide the material up over that roll. Otherwise it bunches up, and I've just left it before and not even worried about it. Doesn't really do anything, but just me having to touch everything, I guess. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna let this run for stock footage. Okay, it's all done, all good to go, so let's check her out. Okay, let's see how she turned out. So what I do, or what I usually do, is I'll pull up one of the corners. And before I start ripping everything apart, I just want to make sure that that cut went through okay. I'm gonna Looks good. So now I'll cut it. I'll just cut. And a lot of times I'll add a weed line. I didn't do that with these, but I really like this Orafol material. Orafol. Every time I say that, I feel like I think of Billy Madison when he says Orafol, but I'm not sure exactly the right way to say it, honestly. But I've just started using that material. I like the Prism Jet, but I have a bunch of vinyl wrap that from Prism Jet that seems to be it's starting to go bad. And I know that this stuff has a lifespan, but this material has a better rating, I guess, reputation, whatever. Plus, I just wanted to try something new. You definitely got to know which material you want because it's not cheap. So you don't want to spend a bunch of money and then end up with something you don't like. So I kind of took a chance with this one, but like I said, this material has a really good good reviews and ratings. So I do notice that everything just came right up perfect. I did like the backing paper feels a little bit thinner. The stickers themselves, yeah, I think it's a 2 mil, and I've been using the 3 mil, so it does feel a little different to me. But that's it, you know, all done. They look good. I wanted to make some of these pink ones before I start selling them, just to make sure everything's on the up and up with it. My cuts are accurate as hell. Perfect, man. I love when everything runs smooth. So, but that's the Raiderette Bandanna pink. The regular Raiders one that I sell, that sucker is like on fire. It's selling like crazy. So wanted to make one for females, and I didn't have this one listed actually. I have the die cut vinyl decal version, but I didn't have the sticker version listed. So I like, what the hell? So I had to get that on there. That's it, guys. Thanks for checking it out.